Hey guys, it's Tom Trams with the FujiNet project, and this is a FujiNet for Cocoa status report. Basically, we're in the middle of doing the bring up, which means bringing everything together and prototyping what we need on breadboards for now so we can get the software up and running. So tentatively what we have here is just an ESP32 module here with a handful of connections from various GPIO, DAC, and serial ports going off to what are essentially the two connectors here at the back for cassette and serial port. The cassette is solely used for bootstrapping. There is one other external circuit right here that is the LM386 amplifier here that is being used to put the cassette signal at the proper volume level. All of this will be put on board, so all of this will be integrated, especially once we get a board done. So at this particular point right here, to save time, I haven't shown the CLOADM process here that you can use if you have absolutely no other way to get drive wire on the system. You can basically just do it through CLOADM, and it loads a cassette image using the DAC directly on the device itself and sends it directly to the cassette port. So once you've done that, of course, now you can basically exec and go into HDB-DOS, for example. And if we do a directory at this point, we can see that there is a single file here on the directory, which is the configuration program at the moment. If we take and load that file, it will pull that now, and now it's communicating with the FujiNet device over drive wire. And if we execute it, we will go into the configuration program. Now, since this device hasn't been set up, it will try to take and find all the wireless networks in range so that you can take and specify which one you want to connect to. Okay, go ahead. We enter in the network password. Yes, the custom input that I have here is a little bit buggy. I will debug it. But I needed it to be able to support upper and lowercase characters. So now that we have that in place here, we're greeted with the host slots display here. Now, host slots are basically just different hosts that you can connect to get and mount disk images. They can be local, for example, if you edit one of these slots and put SD in it, that becomes the host slot for the SD card slot. I don't have an SD card slot attached to this particular device, so anyway, I'm not going to show it here, but it would be that. But let's say we had a remote file server of some sort, either something on your local network or something, for example, like say a local file server. I have one called TMA-2. And I have another server called apps.errata.online. And this one is in Oracle Cloud. Let's go to it. All we really have to do to go to it is select it with the arrow keys here and press enter, at which point we get a directory listing. Let's go Cocoa. Okay, sure. Now let's go ahead and I'll grab Dragonfire here. Now to select, all we do is enter to select it, and then it will ask us which device slot do we want to put this in. And I'm thinking maybe it's going to be device slots 0 through 7. I may actually change that. So we'll see. We'll put this in the first device slot here. And then it takes us back in case we want to take and mount other things into other slots. These just correspond to drives. So now that we're done, we can hit the break key here. And if we use the right arrow key, we can see Dragonfire is now mounted into that first device slot. It's coming from host slot number 3, and it is mounted read-only. So we can do that. Now all we have to do at this point, if we want to use it, we can hit the break key, and it will take and mount it for us. Okay, now that that's mounted, if I take and do a directory at this point, we can see Dragonfire is right there. And it is now loading Dragonfire off of the cloud, off of the internet here, with the Cocoa being none the wiser. Execute it. And there we go. Ready to go. Ta-da! Now at this point, we can, for example, I will take and hit the reset on my system here. Now, since I bootstrapped everything in through CLOADM, it threw me back into Extended Basic, but I can just as easily take, if I have nothing else, I can still CLOADM in the HDB-DOS right here. Matter of fact, I'll pause while that happens. So we're almost done reloading HDB-DOS here. Okay, with that now done, we can then exec back in. You'll notice there's no cassette player in sight. It's all happening off of the FujiNet itself. So now we're here. And if I do a directory at this point right here, you can see Dragonfire is still mounted here inside the system. But if I take and reset the FujiNet, right now the only reset button is on my ESP32 module itself. Sorry, wrong one, that one. And if I do a directory again, we'll see our configuration program back in place. And if we load config, execute again. Now, since the network configuration and everything is already done, it didn't ask us again. It just simply, the FujiNet automatically just reconnected and brought us right back into the host slot display here. But we can see if we were to take an exit, if we were to take and break out at this point, it would take and remount Dragonfire again. Of course, we could take and eject this, put something else in, or do other things as well. So more to come, but just wanted to get this out just to show you where things were at the moment. So until next time, guys, have fun.